Number 6 is measure results, and do it in ways that employees can really easily understand. And whether this is you sitting up there in front of a sales meeting and doing charts and graphs that show exactly where everyone stands, or you as the general manager showing the sales force exactly where sales are for a specific month, by doing lists or rankings. This is what really drives people to overachieve, is by measuring their results, especially measuring results versus others, because salespeople in general are pretty competitive people, whether it's the fact that they come from primarily sports backgrounds. A lot of salespeople typically have a sports background and they have sort of a hyper-competitive spirit. But if you can pit them against each other in a lot of different ways, you can enhance your own leadership, but also enhance your sales results at the very same time. A great example of this was the great industrialist Charles Schwab, which I think we referred to on one of the other shows that we had. He was visiting one of his steel mills and he took out a piece of chalk and wrote on the floor the number of steel ingots that shift had produced. And the night shift saw that number and they took the challenge and they produced more ingots than the day shift and wrote that number in chalk on the floor. So as the days went by, productivity escalated from shift to shift to shift. So use this powerful analogy. Just using chalk on the industrial, on a warehouse floor is certainly sort of a simple way to do it, but make it very simple. Don't do it in esoteric terms. Show charts, show graphs, show rankings, highlight the rankings, send out ranking bulletins, always pitting everyone against each other, because that spurs competition, it enhances your leadership, and it also enhances the bottom line and pushes sales in the right direction. And number 7, and lastly, and most importantly, I think, out of all the 7 ways that we have here to lead your sales team to maximum sales impact, is to stay in the loop and get feedback from all your salespeople. And this is really asking them frank questions about what's going on out in the sales environment. Measuring the progress, being out there with them on a daily basis. If not a daily basis, maybe just for a couple of important calls, because obviously sales managers do get caught up in a lot of administrative activities and so forth. But being out there and managing by walking around, which is one of the most famous management philosophies that has come down the pike in the last 30 years. But being out there and understanding exactly what sort of challenges that they're facing. And then you may even need to alter some of the goals that you have based upon those environmental challenges, or maybe some of the other things that are going on in their environment. But the important thing is that you stay in the loop at all times, so that you really do end up focusing on the sales results, which is your ultimate end game as a sales manager. So just as a refresher, first off, the 7 steps or the 7 ways to lead your sales team for maximum sales impact is: number 1 is to begin with that strategic overhaul and define the results that you need from your organization. Look for that results gap, as we talked about before, and then guide your strategy based upon that gap from where you are, from where you need to be. Number 2 is take responsibility for your results. Don't blame it on environmental factors or bad economy, that kind of thing, which is especially difficult as of this recording, but nonetheless, take responsibility for your sales results as a sales manager, and specifically take more responsibility for bad results and spread around the glory, so to speak, for great sales results. Number 3 is clearly communicate expectations and targets. And one of the big complaints of salespeople is that they really don't know where they stand versus their target. And as a sales leader or a general manager that manages salespeople, or manages sales managers rather, this is extremely important for them to know exactly where they're heading at all times. Also, make sales results the litmus test of any of your decisions. If you've got any new ideas or strategies, make sure that you're always measuring it versus what impact this will have on the sales bottom line. Number 5 is know and use every salesperson's capabilities to the fullest by drawing out more of their talents and minimizing their weaknesses. And number 6 is measure results. Do it sort of in clear, very cut and dried terms, with charts, with ranking bulletins, with, as Charles Schwab did, writing on the factory floor with a piece of chalk. No matter what you do, measure those results and pit your salespeople against each other so that you can bring out those competitive juices. And then lastly, number 7 is stay in the loop and get feedback from your salespeople by being out with them in the field, and ask those frank questions of them to really find out what their main challenges are, so you'll be able to guide your sales leadership message so that you ultimately make maximum sales impact in your sales leadership. Now, for hundreds of other sales management techniques and strategies, such as this one, you can find them in the Sales Management Mastery Academy, along with dozens of done-for-you resources to help your sales managers achieve ultimate sales management success. To claim your free test drive of the Sales Management Mastery Academy and pick your own training course, from motivate your sales team to set expectations to leading your sales team to hiring salespeople, you can visit salestraininggift.com. That's it for this episode of Sales Management Mastery. Until next time, wishing you ultimate sales management success.
You've been listening to the sales management, motivational, and leadership training expert, Ralph Burns. Ralph invites you to discover the sales manager training secrets that will unleash a flood of new sales from your sales team. Visit salestraininggift.com and you'll get instant access to your choice of life-changing sales manager training techniques, only taught in the internationally acclaimed Sales Management Mastery Academy online community. Go now to salestraininggift.com. Sales Management Mastery.